Hey, welcome to Reservations. I'm Jeff Harrison along with...
Hey, Andrew McCauley.
Andrew, we want to talk about video because it is the rave of all businesses and everybody's using it. But I want to start off first before we... There's our truck.
It's our truck. Whiteboard Wednesdays wouldn't be Whiteboard Wednesdays without a truck. There it goes.
If you're just getting into the program, probably for the first, 20 episodes?
Felt like it, yes.
Because we would always be out and about, no matter where we're at, even if we were in a vacant parking lot, we'd have a big truck come by. So that was kind of
That's our token truck.
That's our token
Thanks,
truck.
Larry. Off you go.
So one of the big things about video, Andrew, is about conversions. And one of the big things is there's a report that came out, and we'll put the link down below this where we got this information because we're not making most of this stuff up. And it's down in this link. But across all categories, whether you're jewelry, you're a donut shop, wherever you are, it increased conversions by 80%.
So conversion, let's just, whoa, what's a conversion, Jeff? Give us a rundown of a big picture overview. What is a conversion? What do you mean by that?
The conversion is where
trucks go past.
That's right.
And you know that they're going to deliver something right at your doorstep.
That's right.
No.
Simply stated, a conversion is something where you're putting something in front of somebody and it causes them to take some kind of an action.
Yes.
Whether it's to watch your video, click on a button, fill out a form, whatever, it's a conversion. So it could be as simple as, hey, they watched your video. Is that a conversion?
So basically you're getting them to do something you want them to do.
That's right, without twisting their arm.
Yep. Okay, good. We got it. So conversion, let's talk about conversions. Why does video boost conversions?
Well,
give us some stats around
that. Here's the thing. It increases ROI. And when in this article that's linked down below, 83% of businesses said, hey, video was great at doing that. But here's the takeaway, Andrew. They want to make sure when you're making a video and you're using it, you need to be very, very clear in your product and your service. Now, here's the caveat. Even if you do a poor job, in other words, the quality isn't as good as what we're doing, you have the lights up here and there's not a cameraman over all that stuff, but you hit those points of making sure your product and your service is clearly put out, you'll be successful. If you don't, you can have a real high end, spend a lot of money and not be clear on your message and it fail miserably.
We've seen a lot of those people. A lot of people spend a lot of good cash on high quality, looking good Steven Spielberg-esque videos and it fell flat. It didn't meet those criteria. So there you go. It
reminds me of, and I'll just digress one little quick thing. It reminds me when a national brand reached out to us and said, hey, we made this video and it's failing. It's not getting any views. Well, when I looked at it, I'm like, I don't even know what you're trying to do here. Yeah. So I was able to get it shown more, but it still failed because the product was bad. It needed to be redone, so the message was wrong. I spent some serious bucks on that. But anyway, so the next thing is what?
Building trust. Yeah. Right? Videos build trust. We're doing a lot of videos. We do a video every day, if not more than every day. But what are we doing it for? We're not doing it to sell anything to anybody. Like we're not asking you to buy anything. We're doing it because we want to build trust. We want you to show you that we know what we're talking about. Who we are is on the screen is pretty much who we are off the screen.
That's what it is.
So we're building that trust. We want you to know, like, and trust us so that down the track, if you do ever have a need for our services, click on this button here. No, if you ever do have a need for our services, then you're going to say, hey, you know what? Who can I go and ask about that particular solution to my problem? Hey, these guys are out there because they're always giving good information, good valuable information, which is beneficial for them. That's what we're doing. So video builds trust. A lot of companies are doing this very, very well.
Yeah, because it hits so many more emotional triggers. Now we can, like if I'm on the other side, I can see you, I can see your emotions, I can see your facial expressions, I can hear the tonality of your voice, and all of a sudden I feel like I know you. I know we've talked about this just recently, but we're starting to get people reach out to us and say, hey, can I talk to you about such and such? And I do the same thing. Sometimes I'll hear something that someone says and I say, wow, I want to reach out to them because that connects. And we like that. So if you have a question or a comment about this and you want to have a one-on-one, there's not a chance in hell. No, I'm just kidding. Just mention down below. We'd love that. That's what we're doing this for. We're here to help. Okay?
It also gives a face to the name. Like, we know so many businesses out there that don't have a face. They're just a business or a corporation and they're all behind a logo. What a video does is brings that person from behind the logo and says, hey, here I am, this is who I am, this is who I'm talking to. And I know that people freak out when they speak to us. They're like, you're the guy on the video? Like, yeah. Well, we thought we'd get some, some work.
Yeah.
No, we love speaking to people. So it brings the face out, so we're not hiding behind any logos. And a video can do that for you too, especially in restaurants. Like, who is the chef behind the closed doors, right?
Totally.
Who's the manager of the hotel? We went to a restaurant today for lunch, and on the door in big letters was the manager's name.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's nice, but I wouldn't know him if I tripped over him in the street.
That's right.
Right? So get out and show people who you are. If you're the manager, you're the owner, or whatever you are, even all your staff. There's no reason to hide behind a logo or an icon. Get out there and show who you are.
Yeah, here's a cool stat that 57% of the people who were surveyed after they made a purchase said they did this because video instilled the trust to make a purchase online.
Yes.
I mean, hello, that's a clue. So if you're not using video, make sure to say, hey, how can I put that video in there?
Now, here's Whiteboard Wednesday. We're about to go to the whiteboard and show you something. But before we do that, video. What's the biggest video platform out there?
It's got to be YouTube.
YouTube, right? And who owns YouTube?
Let's see. Google.
It sounds very much like Google. Give me a G, give me an Google. Google is the one who owns YouTube, okay? Now, if you're putting videos out there and people, and you title it the correct way, people are typing in, how do I do this, or whatever it is, and they're looking for that topic, Google is going to show that video in the search results.
Totally.
So Google is a very big platform, of course. It's the biggest search engine in the world. Google loves video.
Yeah. Hey, before we go to Whiteboard, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that when you're using video, and there's so many of us as our mobile phone is going off, there's so many of us that are using our mobile phones, it makes it easier to consume that content versus trying to read that small print. We can just watch the video. So keep that in mind. Like, we know that about 80% of the people that we speak with are using their mobile device. So when we create things like this, we're creating it specifically for the majority of our audience.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, what's next?
Well, first of all, there's 3 more points I want to talk about because they're very important. One is just like it's easier to consume, it's also easier to share. And when your video is shared, those are the kind of metrics. There's that phone again. Those are the kind of metrics that somebody's calling in. We're not even live. I can't believe it.
We are live.
Is one of those things where when I see a video, and I do this to you all the time, and I do it a lot of people on my list, I'll watch a video and I'll just share it with them. It's easier for me to hit a share button because it's already built into and I can share it, so it's a lot easier. And the other thing is, when you use a video now we're talking specifically an ad copy. When they looked at people who use video versus not video, 74% recall on the video. That's huge.
Well, we all talk about, did you see that ad? We don't talk about seeing a paper ad or a newspaper ad. We talk about seeing a video ad, right? So people are going to remember that a lot easier than a still picture or just a caption. Yeah.
And here's the thing. We talk about how powerful video is. When you use YouTube, or when you're putting videos on YouTube, 92% of their videos are watched in completion. That's 92%. I mean, that's huge.
That's a lot.
Huge. Yep. If you looked at something that's written, it's probably way below 50%.
I can beat that. How about this? Yeah, email with a video in it. If you're going to reach out to your customers and send them an email, especially your first one, 96% of the people who will look at that video will open it and do something about it.
That's kind of cool. So increase
the
click-through rate.
Click-through rate will go up 96%, which is phenomenal.
Speaking of click-through rate, let's click over to the whiteboard.
Boom.
Here we go.
Here it is.
So it's video campaigns. We're talking about video campaigns now. How are we going to use that? Andrew, do you want to do this and I'll zoom in for us?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, you do it and I'll zoom.
Okay, cool. I'll get over here. You zoom. So what we're talking about is you might be on.
I was on the right side.
Hey, this is a real thing. And you can just flip that camera that back a little bit so you can see. There you go.
There we go.
So we're talking about video campaigns. And so what we want to do is real simple. Is when you create a video, a campaign, you want to be a Facebook video ad. Now, here's the thing, and it's almost a giveaway. When you look in Facebook, they have 3 different levels. They have awareness, consideration, and conversions, right? So why not create an awareness video that is non-threatening? Right? And what you want to do is you want to put this video out here, and instead of having it as a let's say, you're looking for comments, you're looking for whatever, you're looking for views. You're just looking for views. So you're putting your ad out there. The objective is views. Now, why do we do that? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, hey, as we put that video out there, we're going to start letting that video decide who is and who is not our ideal client, because it's so inexpensive. I mean, we're seeing, 1, 2, 3 cents a click for something like this, or views for this. And what that does is it starts creating what we call a custom audience. And what we're going to do is we're going to only collect or create a custom audience of those people who watch 50% or more of our video. Now, here's the coolest thing. Facebook tells you who that is. In the analytics, when you do Facebook or views objective, it'll tell you exactly who watched it 50% or more. And then you only want to target with these people. So let me back up this. Again, this is an awareness video. It's only making your ideal customer aware of what you do and what you can do for them. It's not a chest beating. It's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. It's like, hey, you're gonna put awareness video out there of saying, hey, were you aware that by using Facebook video ads, you can increase your conversions by, and it's your benefits. I'm just gonna show you how to do that. Then this audience, we do what we call, and this may be a new word for some of you, is called retargeting. We're going to retarget these people. It's no different if let's say, for instance, you have somebody that is offering something at the door. They walk through your restaurant, right? So they ask you to sign up for something, and then as I'm filling it out, or let's say our server sees that I have that paper, they'll come up and ask another question. That's, in essence, that's a little bit of human retargeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our offer out there, because they've gotten to know us a little bit, 74% retention, and we're going to go in here, we're going to give them a retargeting offer. And we're going to say, hey, this is where we want you to buy. Not here, we just want you to know about us, then here's the offer. Okay, and that's with this. Now there's some neat benefits to this. Let me step on this side. One is, it's a broader first exposure because of the targeting. Now a lot of times you start doing targeting, you do all kinds of things. Well, they're male, female, they're 18 to 22, they have this trait, they have that trait, they have these interests. This allows you to really go broad. This is just saying, all I want you to do with this video ad is I want you to say, hey, put the address of your business in there, and then decide, hey, where do you normally get your business from? 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, whatever that is. That's the only real targeting option I want you to put in there, is a radius targeting. And say you do let's say you do a 5 mile, and maybe then you do say, okay, I want to make that where it's let's say male and female. Let's say you want to be, your ideal customer is somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 55. That's it. No other targeting options, okay? So what'll happen is you're eliminating the tire kickers. Because here's what'll happen is the tire kickers won't watch your video. They won't watch 50% of your video. They'll say, this isn't for me, I'll eliminate myself, right? And here's the cool thing. You're not having to pay for that view, right? So I liken it to panning for gold. The video is that pan, you're scooping up everything and you're shaking it out, and what are you left with? You're left with the gold. You're left with the gold. And it's cheaper to run these because you're only paying for views, okay? And then you're targeting to a warm audience. So it's no different if you know me and you have my name and email address, or my name and Facebook Messenger address, it's easier for me it's cheaper for me to be marketed to. So the idea here is it's driving your cost down, because what we hear, Andrew, a lot of it is now it's just getting more and more expensive to advertise on Facebook, because we're going right for that, and I'll say right for that offer, right for that conversion. We're saying, hey, let's go ahead and filter that out and move it through that process, so when they do see the offer, they're saying, oh, I know who you are. This makes sense. That works for me. Because I'm not targeting to everybody, I'm now just targeting to the people who said yes. So this is a video campaign of how you set that up. It's very simple, and some of the benefits of that. So that's really what we want to talk about today. Andrew, any other thoughts on that?
Beautiful. No, I think that is good. You covered it really well. Where am I? Here I am.
Let me brighten it up just a bit.
Oh.
I love this. Here we go.
Come in.
There we go.
Hey, I think, Jeff, you've covered it really well. But as I said, if you've got any questions about this, you want to talk about your video campaigns, whether you want to run some, you want to work out what's the best method for you, let us know. Put them in the comments below.
Absolutely.
Hit us up and we'll be able to answer those questions for you.
That's what we're here for.
That's it.
All right, that's it. That's all for
Whiteboard Wednesday.
We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we talk about, tomorrow's.
Love it, Facebook ads. Facebook ads, we're going to dig in, we're going to look for some Facebook ads that are working and maybe ones that are not so good, and we'll give some feedback on why we think those are good and why they could be improved.
You know what I love about Thursdays? is we can go anywhere on the planet and decide. Like I think last time you were in Santa Monica.
Vegas the week before.
Yeah. So
hey, if you want to know, if you want us to go somewhere and look for some ads near you, we'll find them. Let us know. Put that suburb, city, location below.
I love it. All right, we'll see you next time. We'll see you on Facebook Thursday. That's tomorrow. My name is Jeff.
I'm Andrew.
And you've been joining us on Reservations. We'll see you tomorrow.